Hello and welcome back. This is Kristen from Life of Crafting, and I'm going to start another every week I want to try and use up one of these sketches from a sheetload of cards, and I'm now started in April and I'm having to work backwards because I'm going every week and they're only released monthly into April of 2021. And I'm kind of just looking at this for the first time, and I have, this is what I have left from this paper pack called Domestic Goddess. I have some few random scraps that I've put aside, and I'm putting them there because if I can pull them in and use them up as well with the sketch, I'm going to try to do that. The only thing I have left is 4 full sheets, and these two are the same. This is just the reverse of it. This may be a good sketch for this one too. And then I have these two, which have the plaid, and these are the backs. So I do have some of them over here, as you can see. So these two are scraps from that. So if I can pull them in to the sketch, I'd like to. So looking at the sketch, what I'm gonna need is a strip here and a strip here of one paper. This is going to be a second paper, and then it just needs some layering in there of cardstock, and then this sentiment that comes down with something on it, and it looks like something that, you know, kind of branches out. They're doing a flower, but if I can find something else, I may choose to use that. So they're claiming that with 2 full sheets of pattern paper, you're going to get 8 cards. Okay, so they are calling for, yeah, they're calling for the pattern paper to be with this in a strip. They're not calling for you to use a full sheet, which is good. So I'm going to look at this, and I'm thinking I may be able to just use up all of this paper in this sketch and get done with it, because what I can do is this is going to be the little bit of a busy one, and this is the less busier print, is how I'm interpreting this sketch to be. And personally, I do think these two work well together with the sun and the, this, I know it's just a geometric print. So I'm not saying these two may be a good one to do together. And then, I may see how many I can get out of these 2 prints and all of the other scraps here. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but probably I'm going to have something different on this for this little bit of a, you know, decoration piece than I may have on this. So I'm going to cut everything and come up with what I consider to be my first concept of this card, and then I will be back. Hello and welcome. This is Kristen from Life of Crafting back again. And this is what my final card came out to be for this September 2021 Sheetload of Cards sketch from Call Me Crafty L. So I'll put all the supplies aside for right now, and I'll show you. I wound up getting a dozen cards out of, and if you start to look at them, quite a few of them have what was the scraps, if you remember what I showed you. These top strips here were just that thin little strip I had, which by giving me that and using them up there, I was able to get more using this blue paper for this down here. The bigger piece here in her sketch was mainly where I used the plaid. So I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8 cards using the thin strips. So if you think about it, I probably got at least 4 more cards out of this than I would have had I not been using that. Then I went into using some of the red that I had, so using that here helped me stretch. And I also used some of the scrap that was this one that also allowed me, I got 2 that way, that let me stretch this paper out. So here was the sketch where I was telling you that there was a sentiment here, and then they had these like wispy leaf kind of branches type of thing. And I originally really wanted to do something summery, like a pie or something in that type of idea. And I was kind of just thinking of using a sentiment and just hanging a little bit off to the side. But I pulled out, again, because I was trying to look for like a pie themed thing. And looking through what I had, I was having a hard time really trying to find something. And I came across my Apron of Love from Stampin' Up! Stamp and Die. And I got to rediscover this set. And I was like, ooh, I kind of was playing around. I really wanted to do something with the apron because it is the end, towards the end of May, and everything's coming up with Father's Day. And I was like seeing different ones out there that were the, oh, you know, all the different Father's Day grilling and that type of stuff. And I saw this and I was like, ooh, I want to try that. So here was like my first, I was going to try it stamped, and I was like, I kind of didn't like it that way. So I did die cut it out, and I just noticed I should have used this in there. That would have added some little frill at the bottom. Looks like maybe, oh, I've never done this one before. Maybe I would have, probably would have cut it off to give it a frilled edge. Like I said, I hadn't worked much with this. I bought this at a demonstrator sale. So some of these different stamps have been used, and they were ones I haven't really played with. So that was what I used for all of the assorted dies. And then the what I liked was the one stamp, oh, I still have it on the block, was able to fit right in the die cut of the pocket on the front. And that was good for me because I was trying to find something. Again, I tried to make these for a retail company that my husband and I own. It's online. So when we mail stuff out, I like to put a card in there as a gift. And I try to keep them as like thank you or birthday. And this one was great. It says thank you for being there in a pinch, which was fitting with the design I wanted. I wanted something that had to do with home, cooking, baking, as the domestic goddess pattern has lent itself to. Not that these prints were that, but still. So I liked how that went on there. I did use, this was a piece of paper in my scrap. It is an old Stampin' Up! Print. I don't know if you'll recognize it. It's just got little circles on it. This pattern had what they called Calypso Coral in it. And I do feel that this background color was the Calypso Coral. I felt like I said it needed something. I was trying to fool around with doing a different color for the apron pocket, but I did leave it white to kind of make it cohesive. And then I did die cut out the neck loop there, the strings. Oh God, we've gotten a couple warm days and the bugs are starting to come out here in southern New Jersey. And I did the heart. And I used this color of YR02 to color them because I felt like it pulled in out of the circles in the background to give me a little bit more of, you know, cohesiveness, I guess. But I also realized that when I went to do this, I didn't have enough in this direction. As the sketch indicates, having that over there does give you a little bit of a balance to offset what you're going to do on this. So I realized I did need something else, and I don't have any of the, I have Mr. Mickey over here bother me again. I didn't have any doilies, like the 4-inch doilies in my stash. So I guess I have to buy them. But so I decided to cut one. I've had this Quick Cuts antique doily die for a long while. I don't even know if this brand is still around. They make them like the Biggs dies, but they're small. So I've had this in my stash, I mean, years. So this was nice. I did get to pull this out and use it. First time I've used it. So I cut them in half so that I could kind of push it behind what was going to be the sentiment. And then after I did that, I realized again that the area that was over here was very kind of bald to me. It really needed something else. So that's when I decided to add in these utensils, and it went with, again, the theme of what I was going for, because just having the apron by itself was lending itself to me like saying, am I trying to be in that kitchen motif? So I die cut out, it comes with the 4, it had a spatula, which I chose not to go with because it was more like kind of white. So I did cut out the tongs, the whisk, and the spoon. And I am not the person to give you any instruction on how to color. I am like, I consider me like in kindergarten as far as in that expertise. And I have a very limited, maybe not very limited, but I probably have like maybe 50 Copic markers. So I don't have a huge selection. So I did pull out a C3 and a C6 that I had, and I have E25. So what I used was I just used the C6 to kind of run on the outside edges to give it like a shading on that one. And kind of the same thing here, but I really felt when you added the dot at the end of the tongues, it really gave you that idea of what they were supposed to be. And then I just used E25, and to give it a little bit of shading, like in the bowl part of the spoon, I just did a little bit on the one side. So that was what I did with those to dress it up a little bit. And this is my card sketch. If you do recall, in the beginning of this, I had the other 2 pieces of paper out that I have that were full. And I just chose not to use them in this. I had 12 to finish with this design, and I felt like I had enough on my plate. This was probably the longest was getting. What I was going to do is the sentiment and this piece right here. That's definitely the longest. If I had to say, I probably had all the paper cut and ready to go and on the card bases in less than an hour, maybe 45 minutes. The time that I had to spend a lot was getting together what I wanted here, and then getting the apron correctly in the color scheme of what I wanted. So to make 12 cards, if I had to take and guess maybe 4 or 5 hours. Now that I had the sketch together, and if I had more, I probably could blow out a lot more of these very quickly. So there's my card sketch that I'm putting out there for September 2021, and I'll have probably maybe one more full card sketch with this paper pack, and then just a few. I have very little scraps left. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, and if you like this video, I'd love to see some thumbs up on it. Any comments, things that you see that maybe would have been a little bit better, or things that you did like, please comment below. And I appreciate your time. Have a nice afternoon. Bye.